Another Wednesday morning in the Spice Isle. A very good morning to you, my friends. Thank you very much for joining us for the midweek edition of Gudday Grenada. I'm George Grant, feeling all refreshed this morning and ready to take you guys on. Sitting here just waiting to see who's going to pop up first this morning. And, well, guess what? We have a new winner this morning. Guess who? Long way from here, man, all across the pond. Mr. Chester Simon is the winner this morning. Just edging out Anthea out there in Georgia. And third this morning, he's kind of getting lame. Yeah, Mr. Peter Bishop's third this morning. Hey, nice to see you guys. Thank you very much for joining us for today's edition of Gudday Grenada. Just let me make sure we've got all our ducks lined up here this morning. Yes, we do. Let's get into the rundown, my dear friends. By the way, Osmond Lewis is saying good morning. Fitzroy Adams has chimed in. Benedict Cador has chimed in. So let me bring you guys up here on the other monitor. Benedict, wonderful Wednesday. That's exactly what I expected him to say this morning. My dear friends, this thing's just not going away. You know, this issue which took place 2 weeks ago, yesterday. Actually, a week ago yesterday, with the information minister and reporter down at the Gardens, Callistra Faria. There's a piece that was published last night on the GRENADABROADCAST.com website. And it is written by Claudette Joseph. It's the weekly NDC Heartbeat. And just hang on a sec here. Yeah. It's captioned, Metro's attack on the free press. Yeah, man. Like I said, just does not seem to be going away. This issue, only yesterday, Junior George on his ride-along program had both Beverly Sinclair and yours truly for about an hour. And again, just not going away. We also have the National Report for you, and that's going to be followed by Giddyap, Sherron. Yeah, man, we were on the beach this morning, and again, what a beautiful, beautiful morning. Again, yesterday I was bragging to you guys about swimming under the moonlight, early morning moonlight, hey? And I actually got video. I'm not going to show you the video this morning, but we got video of a great big moon up there, and the moonlight on the water and all that stuff. And turned around and saw the sun coming up over Springs and Mount Hartman and stuff like that. It was just so beautiful. God has blessed us with such a beautiful world. Why have we opted to make such a mess of it? I don't know. But I'm just very thankful that we have what we have. Because, you know, a lot of people spend thousands of dollars every year to come here and enjoy some of the beauty that we have to offer. And we just take it for granted. Oh, well. So Wendy Fabio Sam is saying, good morning, everybody. Oh, boy, I haven't seen this one before. John Nosy Neck. John Nosy Neck? He says, I'm sneaking into the back seats hoping Teacher Francis doesn't give me lines. I think I know who that is. That's John Kennison. He's just trying to fake a thing there. John Nosy Neck. Well, John, we got you pegged, man. John Bruno, another John. If I'm not mistaken, both Johns are in Carriacou. John is saying good morning, class. Sherron says she's on her way. Yeah, okay, Sherron. I thought you would have been here by now, but anyhow, we can wait a few minutes until she gets here. Donna Joseph is saying good morning to all, and Anthea Rallo says, yes, I got a call from New York telling me you were on right along, but work kept me from watching. Well, Anthea, I think I'm pretty sure that Junior does like I do. He archives the program so you can go on back and watch at your own leisure. Now, NDC Heartbeat. Allow me to begin with a quotation. Our democracy depends on an informed citizenry to survive. Besides the advancement of truth, science, and morality in general, the freedom of the press is a backbone of democracy. It exists to keep the government transparent and the human instruments of government honest. That's a quote from somebody by the name of Kenneth Eade, E-A-D-E. Now, the text of that story. The NDC's track record in office and in opposition is one of upholding the tenets of and respect for institutions of the state. These institutions include the presence of a free and independent press, known as the Fourth Estate. We recognize our unique responsibility as a main political party to be gatekeepers of our democracy and defenders of our institutions. In office, even in the face of harsh criticisms and a sometimes rocky relationship with the press, we have never engaged in censorship of any kind. We therefore view with grave concern the recent intensification of the NNP's control, manipulation, and intimidation of the press. We will not sit quietly by, nor will we shirk our responsibility as gatekeepers of democracy, while the current administration runs amok, destroying every facet of our democratic society. We must never forget that the current administration has attacked the Constitution, brazenly violating it on several occasions. They have attacked the electoral office and the electoral system, the public service and public servants, and the courts by disgracefully neglecting the judiciary for many years. Even in the parliament, their agents stifle opposition voices. They habitually refuse to answer questions posed, and even the president joins in by thwarting debate on matters of national interest, as he recently did with Labor Senator Andre Lewis. This state of affairs, when put together with a muzzled press, makes for an explosive cocktail. NDC urges the nation to wake up to the reality that we are operating under a one-party tyrannical rule, clothed with the trappings of democracy. It is therefore urgent and critical that all sectors of our society unite in defense of the free press, which is our last bastion. Okay? The apparent control and/or intimidation of the press mean that government is not being called to account to the people accurately or sometimes at all on serious matters of national interest. The press is being forced not to report fairly and fearlessly. It does not help either that a significant portion of the executive of the Media Workers Association, MWAG, is employed by the same oppressive, vindictive administration. It is well known that oftentimes the interest of those in power will conflict with those of the free press. MWAG should perhaps consider an alternative model where government employees do not serve on its executive, thereby avoiding possible conflicts of interest and maintaining independence. In recent weeks, the administration has ramped up its attack on the free press. Ms. Callistra Farrier is among the few journalists who attempt to do her job as the profession requires in bringing factual, unbiased information to the public and asking probing questions of the Prime Minister and his agents. In late July, during a post-cabinet briefing, Prime Minister Mitchell provided a wholly inappropriate and gruff response to Farrier's wholly appropriate question on his current marital status. As a public figure, the Prime Minister must appreciate that his marital status is of interest to the nation, especially since the people know and have come to appreciate Mrs. Marietta Mitchell over the years. Then there was the press secretary's unprofessional and out-of-place upbraiding of the press corps about 2 weeks later. Evidently, some probing question or questions unnerved her bosses, so she had to act unprofessionally while lecturing her colleagues about Using members of the same institution to attack their peers is a classic sign of a growing dictatorship. It is time for our nation to take note of where we are headed. Following those two incidents, Ms. Farrier was again on the receiving end when an attempt was made to stop her from posing a question to the U.S. ambassador to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean. In that instance, the ambassador had to intervene and let the press secretary know that she was comfortable with the question. And she did answer. The question concerned the secretive CBI program, under which our passports are sold, sometimes to undesirables and even criminals. Last week, the Minister of Information, Senator Winston Garraway, resorted to assaulting Ms. Farrier, who was persistent in her quest to get a comment from Dr. Clarice Modeste Kerwin, MP for the constituency of St. Mark, on a matter relevant to that constituency. From all accounts, Garraway's conduct was entirely uncalled for, disrespectful, and utterly disgraceful. The photograph circulating paints a damning picture, not just for Garraway, but for the female ministers Kerwin and Mathurin Stewart, and the press secretary, who were all present. What is more disturbing is that up until now, no one from the administration, especially the Prime Minister, has come forward in condemnation of Garraway's despicable conduct. Properly, the Prime Minister should have Garraway resign. Yeah? The NDC calls on all patriotic Grenadians to stand in opposition to this brazen attack on the free press. The media workers' fraternity must also take seriously its special responsibility to stand up and fight back against the ongoing attack on the free press. Pilgrims. That was published last night on the GrenadaBroadcast.com website. And as I mentioned, it was written by Claudette Joseph, and it is this week's edition of the NDC Heartbeat. Let me get back here. Let me get back here to social media. Kipling Francis is saying, blessings to you all. Lawrence Kruthoff. Lawrence, we're seeing lots of you these days, man. That's great, 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 great. Keep it up. Anthony DeRiggs says, good morning from Prospect Park in Brooklyn. On my morning walk, God bless. 2 years ago, I could not do so. You know, there's a guy who's just very, very thankful for life. And I see you're streaming mobilely this morning, eh? You're on the road, not at home, and in touch with us. Thank you so much. Margaret Francis. Margaret's lips are sealed this morning, but here's what she's sending you guys. 3 times. That's what Margaret has to say to you guys this morning. Okay, Margaret. John Nosy Neck. John Nosy Neck says here, read the media attack. Social media gets to more people around the world in an instant. Yeah, you know, John, I don't think these guys have actually realized the power of social media yet. They will. Better late than never. Yeah. 18 minutes after the hour. Georgie Porgy is going to scroll down here, take his first little break, and then he's going to come right on back with, guess what? National Report.
Because your vehicle is a necessity, being roadworthy is critical. Hubbard's Motor Department introduces its new tire and battery sales and service outlet located at Building Supplies Compound in Grand Anse, close to the Sugar Mill Roundabout. Available are a wide range of competitively priced tires, maintenance-free batteries, oils and lubricants. Keeping in mind your busy schedule, this outlet is equipped to provide you with fast and reliable service. Simply drive in and you'll be delighted with your service experience. For more information, contact 440-2087. Hubbard's, quality service, affordable prices.
I'm always on the move. Training, traveling, competing. So it's good to know I have Co-op Bank in the palm of my hand.
Introducing e-banking, one of many customer convenience services from Grenada Cooperative Bank. And there's more to come.
It's swift, simple, and secure.
Welcome home.
You don't know how many hurricanes will be coming this season, so you need to be prepared. At Hubbard's Hardware and Building Supply Departments and Food Fair Supermarkets, everything from canned foods, flashlights and batteries, to plywood, tarpaulin, lanterns, roof repair kits, water tanks, etc. are available. For over 90 years, we've helped you prepare for and recover from storms. Hubbard's Hardware, Food Fair Supermarkets, and the Grenadian General Insurance, an integral part of
Climate Fund approves more than 180 million EC dollars worth of projects for Grenada to date. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, September 17th, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. The value of approved projects for Grenada under the Green Climate Fund amounts to 184 million EC dollars. Minister for Climate Resilience, Senator Simon Steele, made this disclosure on Tuesday as he provided an update on developments within his ministry and projects in the pipeline. Minister Steele recently participated in a global programming conference in the Republic of Korea, which was attended by a number of stakeholders and partners, including the GCF, which is the largest climate financing agency.
At this conference, there were over 600 stakeholders from both developing and developed countries, in addition to international development partners and international financing institutions, so the likes of the World Bank, IDB, IFC, the UN Environmental Programme, UN Development Programme, GIZ from Germany, JICA from Japan, you name it, they were there. And this was an opportunity for countries such as Grenada to present to this international community our needs, our challenges, but also our plans, our projects, and our programs.
Grenada Senator Steele says had the opportunity to follow up on a number of active projects that are currently ongoing with the Green Climate Fund.
Those included the G-Cruise project, which is building extra resilience into our water sector, how we can capture more of the rains that fall, how we can distribute that to water-deprived areas, especially when you consider, notwithstanding the rains that are falling right now, but the extended dry periods and droughts that we're experiencing. So this is a very transformative, very important project in our national development. The value of that project is 125 million EC dollars. And that is provided in terms of grant support from the GCF, but also support from the German government.
The opportunity also presented itself to have dialogue with stakeholders of the GIZ, the German Development Agency, which is the implementing agency for the project.
Contracts between GIZ and the government of Grenada should be concluded by the end of this month. So we should see a launch, and that should be a big event for us as soon as possible, hopefully in the month of October. And we'll start to see boots on the ground by the end of this year. And this project will touch every single community, the length and breadth of Grenada, and provide significant job opportunities for our men and women in terms of the implementation of this project.
The Tia Community College has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the University of the Virgin Islands that paves the way for an academic partnership between both institutions. Students enrolled in programs at TAMCC will be able to transfer their credits to the university, which is located in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Principal of Tia Marisho Community College, Dr. Jeffrey Britton, is pleased that this partnership gives the students the privilege to more academic opportunities.
There is nothing more important to us at the college than ensuring that the highest quality education is available to our students and to all Grenadians. At the same time, TAMCC has the opportunity to collaborate with this regional university on its pathways to greatness, academic quality and excellence, student development and success, the Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning, institutional research and planning, institutional assessment, and student learning outcomes. These will enhance our ongoing pursuit of an effective and continuous quality assurance mechanism to ensure compliance with the internal and external audit of our programs and to extend and enhance what we do.
Mr. Haldane Davies, Vice President for Business Development and Innovation and Executive Director of the University of Virgin Islands, says this is the beginning of a strong relationship.
There are many things here at TAMCC that you do that I'm sure we will take a very close look at and see how we can model what you do and learn from you. And there are things that we do at UVI, as Principal Britton said in his remarks, that you'll be looking at here at TAMCC. And we look forward to that strong collaboration. Our goal, and both of us agree on this quite strongly, that this is not another paper and pen exercise. We need to see real action after today, going forward, to make sure that this is fully implemented all the way.
Also present at the MOU signing on Tuesday was Interim Vice Provost for Access and Enrollment Services at the UVI, David Weenie. He says that the MOU goes into immediate effect.
It is effective immediately, and so we are already accepting applications for admission for students to begin with us in January 2020, spring term in essence. And so we admit students for fall or spring, and so the funding is available. We were also able to make this offer available to returning students, and so I don't believe we have a current student from Grenada that I'm aware of, but should we, and I will do my research on that when I get back to the office, because effective today, the discount is also available to he or she.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Prepare for hurricane. Prepare for hurricane. Make sure you have your radio and your batteries too. Waterproof flashlight candles will do. Tin stuff, garbage bag, first aid kit. Come on, people, make sure you have it. Clean water in a container and a hurricane plan. Hear me, no man.
Hurricane damage is beyond your control. Surviving the aftermath is up to you. Have a hurricane plan. It can save your life and your family too.
Prepare for hurricane. Your hair, prepare for hurricane.
Continuing the news, it's still at the proposal stage, but an ambitious project to convert streetlights to energy-efficient LEDs can save the government thousands of dollars. It was one of the projects discussed with the Green Climate Fund and other stakeholders by Minister for Climate Resilience, Senator Simon Steele, when he recently attended a global warming conference in the Republic of Korea.
The first is what we call the GLEAP project. This is an energy efficiency, renewable energy project, which will convert all of our street lights from the energy inefficient sodium light bulbs to energy efficient LEDs. So this will reduce government's public electricity bill significantly, and those monies can be invested in other areas, other productive areas. It would also make all of government's public buildings, some 40 buildings, carbon neutral by installing solar panels on many of our public buildings.
Senator Steele says a financial facility will also be provided for the private sector to access the necessary financial resources to implement energy-efficient solutions in their businesses.
That project is valued at somewhere in the region of 68 million EC dollars. So we're still completing the writing of that project, and that is together with the Caribbean Development Bank and UN Environment, and we hope to have that submitted to the GCF at the earliest possible opportunity.
Persons involved in the Enhanced Country Poverty Assessment and those preparing for the Population and Housing Census are participating in a 4-day workshop on statistical communication and advocacy as part of moves towards better statistics. There has been greater focus regionally and internationally on the importance of statistics as a result of development agendas like the Sustainable Development Goals and the Samoa Pathway, which address the need for stats in small island developing states. Mr. Timon Charles, Deputy Director of the Central Statistical Office, says as stakeholders they have a critical role to play in advocating for the use of statistics for evidence-based planning and decision-making.
We'll be working on our census communication plan because we will be conducting our census in 2021. So we have to start the planning process now. So we'll be doing our census communication plan, and also the part of the workshop will involve in terms of how to teach stakeholders to communicate with the media and to work with the media in disseminating statistical data to the public.
The training targets public sector stakeholders in the national statistical system who are directly or indirectly involved in the production and dissemination of statistical information and statistical advocacy. And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
Alrighty, folks, that's going to take care of last night's edition of the National Report. Now, just in case you're wondering if she's here or not, take a look. See, there she is. Swimming under the moonlight. Sherron's going to be with us in just a wee bit. We have a couple of comments here. First of all, John Nosyneck. I have to get used to this, John. John Nosyneck says that Reclimate Resilience, the story in the National Report there, does that money include the dredging of the carronage of all the silt and rubbish that threatens St. George's? You know, John, carronage is one of the most spectacular harbors, spectacular bays, call it what you want, in the Caribbean. But I'll tell you, you wouldn't believe the amount of junk that's in there. I mean, the place is filthy. Yet, you know, you drive around and it looks nice blue water. But on some days when the water's really clear, you can take a look down there, you'd be amazed at what you see. He also says, Nadma, why, or were my ears deceiving when I actually heard a shelter list being announced the other day? I don't know, John. I still haven't received the shelter list. I'm not saying there isn't one, but they certainly haven't sent it to me. And I find that amazing because I've been the one who's been phoning them and bugging them about this thing. Anyway, Charmaine DeLille is saying good morning to you folks. And here's a note from Kellen Bubb, if I'm not mistaken. Kellen is in New York. I'm talking away and I'm showing Sherron. Kellen says, good morning, George. I am amazed that the government of Grenada hasn't responded to the Garaway fiasco, which is ironic, given that they recently signed on to the global he-for-she movement with great fanfare. Well, Mr. Bob, how surprised are you? How surprised? Pilgrims, break time. And then we'll come back with Sherron.
Good morning, Grand Lake Meter Reader.
Morning, Mr. Meterman. I'm glad I caught you. Last month, I got a very high bill, and I don't understand why.
Last month, we were not able to access your meter, so we had to estimate the bill. This will happen if we don't get an actual reading.
So, what can I do to ensure that my meter is easily accessible?
Well, you can get your licensed electrician to move your meter outside of the gate or directly in front of the house.
That way, I'll have easy access and I won't have to deal with your dog.
Ah, Butch.
Yes, dogs can be a problem sometimes. On one occasion, I was attacked by a dog and police had to get involved. Customers who don't want to cage or tie their dogs should really move their meter and make it easily accessible.
Well, I'll consider that.
Thank you.
Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
All right, folks, let me tell you something. This morning, I was boasting to you guys about swimming under the moonlight. But even though we had lots of moonlight this morning, it was still pretty dark out there. When it came to picking our grapes, we never go to the beach without bags of grapes. Actually, she sometimes brings along a sheet. So we have to stand under the tree. Somebody shakes the branches, and these grapes fall into this big sheet. Grapes stain pretty bad, by the way. As if we didn't have enough with all the grapes we collected this morning. She walked in here a few minutes ago, and this is probably the reason why she was a little bit late getting in here this morning. See that? Can you see that? Any idea what's in here? I haven't opened it, but any idea what's in here? I'm gonna tell you. And sit there and go, lick your lips. Homemade fish cake and bakes. Yum man. Georgie's gonna feed his face as soon as he says bye-bye to you guys out there. Good morning, Ms. Roberts. How are you?
Good morning. I am so blessed.
You so blessed?
I'm so blessed.
I thought I heard you say that on the beach this morning. In fact, you say that on the beach every morning in the water.
Yes, because I am. We are.
We truly are.
Grenada is. Some years ago, one of the charges said to me, he think they market in Grenada. They're not marketing Grenada fairly.
Yeah.
So I said, why? What do you think is missing? And he said we need to market the safety of Grenada, how safe it is compared to a lot of other countries. We have our little ups and downs, but imagine there are people walking on the beach 4 o'clock in the morning. Women by themselves walking the beach 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that, because this morning we were, as far as I could see, the first on the beach. Usually there are maybe about half a dozen people or so before we get there. But we were the first this morning, and then as we walked down towards Spice Inn, we saw a lady walking in the opposite direction all by herself.
That's right.
And this is like 5:30 this morning, and I'm saying to myself, whoa.
Yeah. We got down there about 10 after 5 this morning.
Okay.
And there were people there.
Sherron, talking about this lady, who obviously had a lot of nerve to be walking on the beach that early. I didn't mention it to you, but I remember when I first came back to Grenada, I started dating a certain young lady, okay? She's still a dear friend of mine. Well, let me tell you something. I have always been a moonlight and sunset fanatic. I'm a romanticist at heart, okay? And I thought, where else in the world did anyone experience, walking Grandance Beach on a moonlight night, or swimming to a magnificent sunset? So I said to my newborn love, I said, why don't we go for one moonlight night? I said, why don't we go for a walk on the beach under the moonlight? You mad or what? You want him to kill us?
Oh dear.
This is a Grenadian. This is a
Really?
Grenadian. Yeah. Scared like hell to go to the beach at night. I'm telling you the truth. This lady is still my very, very dear friend, but let me tell you.
It is so safe, still. Thank God.
Yeah. There's a note here, John Noseyneck, John Kennison. John says, I hope there were grapes and not dog deposits. Well, let me tell you something.
They're grapes.
Huh? They're grapes. They're grapes. John, let me tell you something. Yes, we do pick a lot of grapes. And sometimes I have to use my cell phone as a flashlight because it's still so dark out there to pick grapes.
Yeah.
Right? We do that. But you know what, boy? The sweetest grapes you will ever find are the ones you pick up off the ground. I wash them in the seawater before okay? But let me tell you, they're really, really sweet. Margaret, Margaret and your tail girl. Margaret says, Margaret, I want to know, okay. I haven't got a clue what John is saying, but Margaret says, I want to know where mine's and yours is.
Where are you, Margaret?
Margaret is in New York. She's in Brooklyn.
I thought she was here for a moment there.
She's going to be here soon, October sometime, I think. But if you guys want to drop by, you know, right here, Woolwich Road, very accessible. Come on down. You get your stuff.
Well, we better plan to pick Margaret up for the beach.
Yeah. So, Sherron, what's up your sleeve this morning, girl?
Boy, this is a countdown. Today's Wednesday. We have 1 week left for our Reiki gathering, which begins next week, Thursday. However, we have people coming in from this Saturday. And so I'm busy. I'm president of the Grenada Reiki Association, and we're putting this gathering together. Grenada has a standard to live up to.
Okay, tell me about it.
Because in 2010, we had our first gathering here. It was up at Mount St. Irvins. And it was so good because, you know, we pull out all the stops. And they're still talking. Every year we go to a different island, and every year somebody would say, especially my girlfriend Sherron, Hurley Hall from Barbados, she said Grenada is a hard act to follow. Now last year, it was in Barbados, and I walked with bags of spices. We knew there were going to be 42 people at that conference, so we had 42 bags with different spices in it, and a card, a save the date card for this gathering. So everybody was saying, wow, if Grenada come out with this, we could imagine the gathering. Well, we waited for that.
10 years.
It's gonna be good. And the nice thing is that different people here in Grenada has been donating stuff for the welcome bag.
Okay.
Normally the welcome bag is a little bag with, you know, maybe a pen and a pencil, a little souvenir. And this time we have stuff from Clark's Court, we have, all kind of goodies, I'm not gonna tell you. But instead of just, you know, a map and a pen and a pencil, we have Grenadian tastes, taste of Grenada. So.
And this year you have a lot more people than you did?
We have 60 people so far. Well, actually, this morning I thought we had 60, and when I went home and I checked, we actually have 62.
Oh.
So people are registering still, and, you know, we welcome everybody because it's for all Reiki practitioners. It doesn't
Just
matter.
practitioners?
Well, we have a session for the public, which is on Thursday afternoon. We have to, we're going to be inviting media, and we have the Bishop of Grenada going to do a feature address. Our theme this year is, we call it C, healing. Spiritual, emotional, and ancestral healing, SEA, healing.
Okay.
And it's on the beach, it's down at Kalinago, so, you know, it has a double meaning there. Sea, healing.
Okay.
Some of the sessions gonna be on the beach, in the sea. So, and we have people coming from as far as Cyprus. We have from the Cyprus, we have from the UK, the USA, Canada,
Ireland,
BVI, Jamaica, Antigua, St. Lucia, Dominica, Barbados, Trinidad, Grenada.
Okay.
13 countries.
Okay.
So it promises to be.
You're going to be cooking a lot, eh?
Well, the hotel's going to be cooking a lot. We actually have a field trip. We normally do a field trip on Saturday, but we want to do it on Friday because we have to take these people to Belmont Estate. And you know, they're 7 days Adventist, so they'll be closed on Saturday. So we're doing it on Friday. We're going to do a session at Granitang Lake. And then we go to Belmont Estate where they could tour and taste the chocolates and all that. And we have lunch there and we have another session there.
Okay.
So it's going to be an exciting time.
And for people who are interested in Reiki, I think we have some people coming in on Sunday.
We have people coming in Saturday.
No, here on my program on Sunday.
I think Kennedy and Winthrop's going to be with you on Sunday. Yep.
Speaking about Winthrop, in just a wee bit, I have to ask you a question about Winty. I know he's a big fanatic of cricket, and I'm assuming he's been watching a lot of CPL, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. SD No Tap, Sean in the Azores.
Hi, Sean.
Sean saying good morning to us, and he wants to know, will any of this event be online?
No, because one, we didn't think of it, and two, Reiki is normally a very, I wouldn't say a private thing, because we welcome anybody to the opening session. We're actually gonna invite media if they want to do some clips during maybe Saturday event, because I'm not going to go into detail, but we have different presentations, because it's the whole exercise is for meeting other Reiki practitioners throughout the Caribbean, and now it's gone wider. But we have educational sessions where we talk a lot about self-healing and stuff like that. We have a presentation on Friday about Reiki and nature. Then we have another session on healing a broken heart. And then we have a session on spiritual healing. And then we have one on emotional healing, which is going to be done by Winthrop. So he may be able to speak more to that one.
I'm sure you'll tell us about that on Sunday.
And we have a couple doing ancestral healing, which is really, really important. So those are the educational parts of it. Plus we're going to have a lot of Reiki treatments, sessions with treating each other.
Okay.
And we're going to party too, because Friday night they're going down to Prickly Bay.
Prickly Bay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sean, there you have it. It's not going to be online. However, you're in the Azores. Let me see now. To get here, you simply need to hop on an airplane, fly up to London, I would imagine, and then you can join Virgin, British Airways. Who's the other one?
I'm not sure. Caledonian or something.
Whoever. You can get a flight from London to here in a heartbeat. And we'd be very, very happy to see you. Thanks a lot.
And we'll pick you up from the airport.
We'll even pick you up from the airport. You can get a piece of that. Ever had swordfish and bakes? Fish cakes and bakes?
I'm sure he has.
Come on down and find out what that's all about. Anthony Howard, let's move from Reiki here. Anthony Howard says, good morning, George and family. Grenada may be safe, but I don't think it's a good idea to promote walking in the dark, especially at the beach. Those one-off incidents of violence has a significant impact on people's psyche, especially those gruesome acts of violence. Grenadians don't take too many chances in the dark, so leave them and us that way.
I guess if you're paranoid, you know.
Yeah.
But I agree with him to an extent. You
Yeah.
have to think safety.
Yeah.
So I think they're very brave, those who do it alone. I wouldn't do it alone.
Yeah.
I would just because.
Well, we're fortunate. We don't hear of any incidents. I mean, I haven't heard of any incidents of people being attacked on the beach at night.
No.
Yeah. Okay. But anyhow, Sean says, nah, George, I will astral travel.
Okay, we'll bounce up.
Yeah. Chris Davies says, good to know. I'm not sure what she's referring to. Everything we've said here is good to know this morning.
Chris Davies.
Chris
That name
Davies.
is familiar.
Yeah, Chris is a very integral part of the civil society movement
Okay.
in Grenada.
Maybe she's a Reiki practitioner.
Maybe. Are you Reiki? Chris? What else am I missing here? Yeah, okay. Back to Winty. Sherron, last night, I sat down here for a few minutes and watched a match between Trinidad and Tobago and St. Kitts. You saw that?
You see Braffett bat, boy?
Sherron, these guys are making a cricket lover out of me again, man.
I mean, there are days when I just want to throttle them. And there are days when they make you proud.
Yeah, man. That was an exciting finish to that match. The match actually tied, and they had to go into what they call super over. Man, oh man, see, the Kittians went bonkers last night. Really, really crazy.
I was back in St. Kitts, and when I saw them tie, I said,
Me
you
too.
know what it is? I am going to my bed because I will not be able to handle the heartbreak of Trinidad winning at this point. And this morning, Winthrop told me that St. Kitts won. I thought, yes.
It's not just winning it, the way they pulled this thing off, man.
You know, a couple of years ago, we went to the finals, which they were in St. Kitts. We couldn't get tickets with Liat. We actually flew up to Miami and down to St. Kitts and came back the same way. And it was cheaper than Liat.
Okay. Woo.
Yeah. So seeing the whole scene in St. Kitts, I remember being there. It is an amazing feeling.
It's a beautiful little island, eh? St. Kitts.
Beautiful.
I really enjoy that. Yeah. Sherron, I don't want to put a damper on things here, but there's a note that came in from the Met Office. There's a tropical depression out there. First of all, let me put your minds at ease. I don't think we had to worry about this one, okay?
No.
But I believe that I am obligated to let you know that there's something out there, okay? This depression is slightly to the north of us. It's 13.7 north, okay? And it's moving towards the west-northwest near 10 miles an hour. A west-northwestward motion at a somewhat faster forward speed is expected over the next few days. On the forecast track, the system will be near the northern Leeward Islands. Okay, so that's why I said no need to go wet your diapers at this point in time. And that should be near the Leeward Islands on Thursday night. That's tomorrow night. Strengthening is forecast during the next couple of days. And the depression is expected to become a tropical storm by Wednesday morning. Isn't this Wednesday morning?
Today.
Yeah, so sometime today, this thing's likely to be a tropical storm. And it's supposed to become a hurricane by the time it moves near the northern Leeward Islands.
Okay.
Okay? You know, yes, these storms move west-northwestward, but I remember, boy, I think it was 1987, 1988. I had just come back to Grenada, and there was a storm in the vicinity of Barbados and moving to the west, northwest. And then that bugger hung a left and started coming down our way. So they do change direction.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Sometimes.
Remember Lenny? Hurricane Lenny on the 17th of November, 1999.
Okay.
That thing passed us as a tropical depression, you know.
Yeah, and then
and
turned
develop
around.
over the Caribbean Sea and come back and give us a backlash.
Yeah, yeah.
I never forget that.
Well, and we got really nasty storm surge here. I remember that
Yeah.
one. All right. Claude Pudner says, George, I like this lady, and she looks like she looks like my mom.
Okay.
And we're carrying the same birthmark
Really?
on our top lip.
Uh-oh.
God bless you, Mom. Wow. You know
Well,
Claude?
God bless you.
You don't know Claude, I would imagine.
No, I don't know Claude. But you know, I have a lot of sons. I gave birth to 5 sons and a daughter. And I've adopted quite a few more.
Oh, okay.
So, one of my friends said yesterday, her name is Oneness. She's in training to be a Reiki master.
Mm-hmm.
And she had something on social media, and I so agree with her. She said her husband has a son, which is not her son, and then she has a son, but she said she has 2 sons. So somebody was saying, "Oh, congratulations, you had another baby." She said no, but she don't call him her stepson. She said, "I'm not stepping on the child." So she called it her bonus child. So I have 6 children that I gave birth to. Well, they're not children anymore, excuse me. My youngest is 24 and my oldest is 41.
Can you imagine her having a 24-year-old child, the youngest?
Not only that, I have a 41-year-old and I have 7 grandchildren. But I have 4 stepchildren. Well, they're not stepchildren. I have, Winthrop has 2 grown daughters and grandchildren. But I have 4 bonus children. People who came to visit and stayed.
You know, it looks like I might have to go the bonus way as well, because I turned 68 Sunday I turned 68 and I have no children. Nobody ever sat me down and said, George, no, these are the ABCs of life. This is how you make little picnic.
The birds and the bees.
The birds and the bees. They just totally left George out.
Alone.
Story of my life.
Well, boy, it's not too late to get a few. I say men could go on and on and on.
Really?
Yeah, man.
This man ain't going there.
Nobody.
Okay, Sawandi Fabio Sam says, the fact that we are called upon to assist, knowing is always important. Keep giving us the updates, George. I guess he's talking about the weather system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, my dear, I'm going to say thank you. And we shall see thee, by God's grace, tomorrow morning.
Definitely.
Yeah.
As long as God gives me life, I'll be there.
And just let me tell Mr. Who is it here? Anthony Howard. Anthony, we are well protected, sir.
Yes.
Well protected. I'm not telling anybody to go be careless. No. But we're well protected. So tomorrow morning.
Right. So if there's anything more about the weather, I'll let you know. I'm
Okay.
sure you're going to know before me.
Yeah. I get all this stuff here.
But there are 5 of us on Grenada who are what we call surges. surge.
Okay.
So in the event of any disaster, whether it be hurricane or otherwise, one of the people that would come out were nominated by not NADMA, OFDA. So we serve the USG.
Okay.
So they normally let us know and put us on notice once something is going to happen.
Okay. Fitzroy Adams says, Sherron, so you is a Mama Esh?
What?
A Mama Esh, ESH. I don't know what ESH is, but does anybody know what a Mama Esh is? I hope it's nothing
Must be something
derogatory.
as my mother. We had plenty picnic.
Plenty
And we claim other people own too.
Thank you, my dear.
All right.
Let's take a little break here and we'll come on back right after this break.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. First, make a family disaster plan and ensure that everyone in your household is familiar and comfortable with it. Remember to add batteries and flashlights to your emergency kit. Now for electrical safety. Familiarize yourself with your electrical panel, as it may be necessary to switch off the power during a storm or flood. Make sure you install a transfer or isolation switch to prevent your generator feeding electricity to Grenlec's line. If trees are too close to power lines, call Grenlec at 237 for advice. By following these easy steps, you will be well on your way to being hurricane ready. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
Can I have a chicken lunch, please? Large.
Real nice today.
Mm-mm. I don't want that.
But you just asked for a chicken lunch.
I don't have problem with the lunch. Afraid the container.
What is the problem with it?
These styrofoam containers, they don't good for the environment. They shorten with life.
What foolishness you telling me? So what you want me to use?
Put my food in this.
Where you get that?
At the food fair, where you could get all biodegradable food boxes and disposable food supplies like cups, plates, anything you could think about. Name it, it's there. And they don't harm the environment. Food fair, taking the lead in cleaning up and protecting the environment. Hey, like you take me advice, you get in your biodegradable food supplies.
Well, girl, I supporting who supporting the environment. That is why I shop in at food fair.
Food fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets. Products distributed by Hubbard's agency, Kirani James Boulevard.
Well, boys and girls, time to pull the curtain down on the Wednesday edition of Gudday Grenada. But we're not going to do that without a word of inspiration. Today it comes to you from the first book of Timothy. Timothy chapter 6, verses 6 to 12. But godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into the world, and we can take nothing out of it. But if we have food and clothing, we will be content with that. Those who want to get rich fall into temptation and a trap and into many foolish and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. Some people, eager for money, have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. But you, man of God, flee from all of this and pursue righteousness, godliness, faith, love, endurance, and gentleness. Fight the good fight of faith. Take a hold of the eternal life to which you were called when you made your good confession in the presence of many witnesses. First book of Timothy, chapter 6, verses 6 to 12. Let me take one quick look here and see if there's anything else that I should talk about. Anthony Howard says, hi George, can you give us an update on the weed on Grand Dance? Watch your words, Anthony. You meant the seaweed on Grand Dance. The beach is clean as a whistle. We did have some seaweed there for a few days, but that's all gone. I'll tell you something we have been noticing over the past few days. Let's take this morning, for example. The end of the beach near to Spice Island was, I don't want to say rough, because I mean, when you talk rough, you're talking big waves and stuff like that. No. But it was not as calm as where we normally swim, which is directly in front of Camahan Park. And there the water is like a swimming pool. I mean, just a swimming pool. But as you step into the water, you keep going over mounds, which sort of tells me that maybe overnight they had some choppy seas down there and that stuff just, got washed in. But beautiful as ever, beautiful. So, Anthony says, I couldn't spell sarg. he was talking about weed, remember? Yeah, he couldn't spell sargassum.
There's been no sargassum on Granite.
No.
Even when there were weeds the other day, that is not sargassum. That was the weeds from there's a big bed of seaweed higher up, like just on the left-hand side of Silver Sand. And when we had weeds the other day, it was not sargassum. It was just the normal seaweed.
Okay.
But
yeah.
now that is gone.
Yeah.
What I did notice this morning is maybe because of the rains yesterday, we had some little branches.
Yeah.
There are a few twigs
Yeah.
in the water.
Yeah.
But nothing to write home about.
But the water is still crystal clear.
It is very clear.
Yeah.
But the little mongs in the water, when you go up and down, I think that was undercurrent last night.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
No big deal. And he's also asking about the carronage. I know I did hear that there was some seaweed on the carronage, I think last week or so.
I found last night, I was there for a little while. My friend Carla and myself were sitting upstairs at the Nutmeg last night, and what I did notice was quite a bit of debris, like empty bottles. It was quite filthy, actually.
In front of Hubbard's there,
Yes.
a lot of the boats that tie up there, they dump their
Yeah.
stuff in there. That's what I was referring to.
Terrible.
Rachel John is saying good morning. Well, Rachel John, good morning and goodbye. Anthony Howard says, thanks for the update. Okay. All right, folks, I think that's going to do it. 10 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you so much for keeping us company this morning. Boy, you don't know how much you mean to us. Thank you very much. Tomorrow morning, hopefully. He's always pretty damn reliable. Anthony, Alan Baczynski. That nutcase. He's going to be with us tomorrow. This guy is just priceless. He is out of this world. Anthony the Rig says, George, another tropical wave came off the African coast. Oy, oy, oy. Yeah, what we didn't get in the first half of the season, starting to happen now.
You know, when it come off at 7 and 8 degrees, then I worry.
Yeah.
When it's higher than that, because they all tend to go northwest.
Yeah.
And especially if there's a little something in front, then they just hook on and they go quickly and up that way.
Well,
but
listen,
when you see it come out at 7 and 8, then it bothers me, because by the time it come across, it's right on 10, 11.
Yeah. Here, this is the part from Anthony that kind of bothers me. Let me read the whole thing. He says, George, another tropical wave came off the African coast. Unlike Jerry, listen to this, unlike Jerry, this one might head to the Windward Islands, according to the NHC, the National Hurricanes. Anthony, thank you very much, Georgie Porgy. After he eats his fish cake and bakes, go and check it out. Jeremy Scott says, it's great to put a face to that unique voice. Is that you, Sherron?
Must be you.
Unique?
I'm not unique. I'm quite ordinary. Ordinary
Moi
Petit
too.
Martinic gal.
Petit Martinic gal. Yeah, man. Jaji Paji putting up pie, kiss the girls and make them cry. Yeah. He never did that, by the way. That's a farce. That's fake news.
I don't know if you realize when you're coming into the sea, everybody says that.
What?
Georgie Porgy put in the bag.
You guys, if you think you are a clique, the clique that assembles 5:30 weekday mornings down at Grenada's. I mean, just as much as I love you guys, I love them. But honestly, don't tell them I said that. Okay. He said, okay. Thank you very much, folks. You have a great day, and by God's grace, we'll see you tomorrow morning at 9.